Here is, if the air outside is bad in a lot of places, why go home and have air quality that is much worse than what we've just seen there on the screen?
Much worse. 10, 20, 30 times worse than what the World Health Organization says that we should be breathing. And I'll repeat it again, there is in fact one death every 20 seconds globally. This exceeds the number of outdoor air pollutant deaths by 5 times. Also, this is from Dr. Michael Kleinman, a leading toxicologist in the United States. As you breathe, your lungs act as filters, but they are not very efficient with the use of extremely small air particles.
What it's all about.
In the home.
Yeah. If we can look at these, we've got a couple of slides here for the people at home, and what we're going to show you is, here's your average home. Look on both sides of the list here, chemicals released from the modern building, furnishings, upholsteries, carpets, floor coverings. For example, new homes, the wooden floor construction, the gyprock type floor is actually held together with formaldehyde. And what happens is the formaldehyde stops it from gluing going hard. If the glue went hard on these floors, it would actually buckle. So this formaldehyde is leaching out, and we are breathing it in on a constant basis. Gases from the fireplace, wood-burning stoves, chemical fumes from paints and solvents in the home, carbon monoxide coming in from the attached garage. When you move your car in at night, that carbon monoxide, when you open the door, can go into the home. Over here we've got outdoor air pollutants, which we know about, moulds and bacteria inside your home, chemicals from cleaning products, which we just saw earlier in that demonstration.
Shocking, they are.
Animal hair and dander for people who have dogs, cats, all types of pets. You need to get that out of the air. And obviously, cigarette smoke, for a lot of people who may not know this, there are actually something in the order of 4,000 volatile compounds that are made up in cigarette smoke.
All right, that is absolutely frightening. But of course, let's talk about fine particles. And this is a really good demonstration for you to be able to understand exactly what they are.
This is absolutely brilliant, because this represents here a human hair. This is that same human hair. Now, if you pluck out one of your hairs and you actually look at this, 60 microns wide, then we go to these small particles here, which are 10 microns. These are the particles that government legislation has been trying to determine to control. Down here is the small particles that we are absolutely to date scientifically sure is causing more problems for us than anything else in the polluted world.
And the size
there's the size of it.
The size of that compared to a human hair, microscopic.
Look at that. Absolutely incredible.
Okay, let's move on to our next chart. Now, of course, this is particulate size chart. Let's talk about some of these that, of course, we know are in the home.
We go look at all of these. You can look at pick any one here. Suspended atmospheric dust inside the home if you live in the country, wind blowing, smog can come into your home, tobacco smoke, soot, gaseous contaminants. Look at the measurement in size of these gaseous contaminants. Remember, this is the area here that the government and other world agencies look at for pollution. Look at what we've got down here that is ultrafine. Viruses, cat allergens, bacteria, house dust mites, and many, many more.
Many more that we all have in our homes. We all have in the homes. You can see them: oil, smoke, and of course cement dust, smog, tobacco smoke, soot. These are all countless amounts of small particulates that you cannot see. Moving on to the next one, of course.
Now this chart is probably the most important chart that we're talking about today. What happens when we breathe these small particles in? Where do they go in the body? And the thing that's really scary, I mean, okay, we've got 30 microns could go into the brain, 9 to 30 microns in the back part of the skull. But as we move down the size chart, and we get down here to 0.1 to 0.5 microns, and if you remember, a micron is 1,000th of a millimetre. So you're looking at ultra fine. They can get absorbed in the alveoli down here in the lungs.
Direct access. Because of that size, because of
direct access,
they are going straight down through to the lungs.
And in fact, there's been a number of autopsies done in Los Angeles recently where they've been actually researching what's happened, and they open up the body of the deceased, and what you find in the lungs, Cassidy, is little black dots of the pollutants that they've absorbed into their body. And we are no different here to LA, we have the same pollutants, we have the same problems, and we are breathing this stuff in. And this is the ultrafine particle that's going to create the damage, perhaps up to 50 times worse than the pollutions that we're trying to govern.
And what we're trying to govern outdoors, we really only just started thinking about indoors, and really thanks to Airganics, this is where you all can get educated about it. And I know for a lot of you it's confronting, I know for a lot of you it's frightening, but please stay tuned, because this is a good news story, okay? We have the solution for you, and we'll move into that a little bit later. But of course, this is how Airganics works.
Now, this is how we work. Quite simply, here is the tower that we're promoting today. Inside the tower is a small glass tube with a metal casing on the outside. Now, we actually pass an electric current across this tube, and in fact, all the little points of the stainless steel outer coating are like little ionisation plates, and they cause an electric charge as the air flows by. And we actually create what we call magnetised ionisation. A new phrase, magnetised ionisation, different to normal ionisation, because what we do is the dust particles cluster together, and anything else in the environment in the room cluster together, they become heavier and they fall to the ground. Now, the important thing here is people say, oh, we've noticed we've had more dust, we've had a little bit more of this, and we've had to clean up more. It is far better for those pollutants, and consider it can be the bacteria and the viruses, etc., to fall to the ground than for you to ingest them.
And I mean, the tower, of course, probably one of these most popular products in Airganics here at TVSN. But why the tower, Rick? Why do people need to get the tower?
You need the tower, first and foremost, because one, it's going to remove from your airspace the problems we've talked about today. Secondly, it's going to create an environment that is not only invigorating, but it feels great. You go into your home at the end of the day and you have a cleansing effect. It actually feels like your home has been cleaned, but you may not have cleaned it. And that's because you've taken out of the air the pollutants that give you all the issues regarding anything, the problems you may have, from allergies to whatever.
And it was amazing looking at that footage that we've seen, the vision throughout the show, what is actually happening with all the things that we think we're cleaning our home with all of these lovely fresheners and cleaners, but in fact those fine air particles that are going into your lungs. And in fact, let's take a look at a comparison of other type of air filtering systems.
I mean, there are a number of products on the market, and people at home can go out to the supermarkets or wherever you might go, electrical stores, and you may buy some type of air purification product. Understand the problem is the ultrafine particles, and obviously being able to improve the quality in the room or the space that we talk about. You've got charcoal filtering, electrostatic filtering, HEPA filtering, ultraviolet filtering, and Airganics magnetised ionisation. As you can see, we are the only ones that actually do the whole room. And the reason for that is quite simple. We are distributing out of our product into the room so that they will project across the room and take out the particulate. These devices that actually act as filters are sucking in. So it doesn't matter how authentic or what they do as far as scientific theories are concerned. It is impossible to take air from that side of the room and suck it through this little device and get it clean.
Spit it back out. And
it just can't happen.
Just can't happen. And whether it's in a domestic use, whether it's in your home, whether it's in your office, I mean, we saw in the beginning of the show some of those big differences that a cold and a flu can go from level 3 to level 7 like that.
Exactly. And if you've got some type of device that is spreading itself through the room, through the home, that's taking this out of the air, you're going to have a healthier, freer, more enjoyable life.
And of course, Airganics has been a massive success. And I told you at the beginning of the show, we had so many people who wanted to tell us their story. I believe Keith is on the phones right now, wanting to share your story. Keith, tell us about your Airganics at home.
Okay, hi everybody.
Good, how are you?
Not too bad, thank you. I suffer from sinus and hay fever, and I find since I've had the Airganics, which I've had for quite a few years now, I find I can breathe a lot easier than I used to. When I get a cold or flu or stuff like that, doesn't tend to last anywhere near as long as it used to.
Brilliant. And you know what, we're coming into cold and flu season, so Keith, you've got the best thing in your home, Airganics, mate. Thank you for your call. I know there's a lot of people standing by, and I believe there's one more caller standing by right now. Who do we have on the phones? Teresa, are you there?
Yes, it's Teresa.
Hi, Teresa. Tell us all about your Airganics sensation at your place.
Yes, how are you going?
Good.
Good.
Good. Yeah, I'm just going to say that the Airganics has stopped my child of 6 years old from having asthma attacks.
Wow.
She was a chronically ill asthmatic child, for about 4 or 5 years, and since I've got Organics, it changed that.
Gone. Completely gone, Teresa. That is
Complete.
sensational news. Absolutely sensational.
Yeah, completely. She's never needed to be rushed to hospital ever again since putting Organics in my home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You know, it speaks for itself.
Absolutely does.
It does.
Thanks to you, Teresa. We've got a lot more people standing by. I'm sorry to rush you, but I believe we now have Kay, who's on the phone line, all wanting to tell us your stories. Kay, thanks for giving us a call. Tell us all about your Organics in your home.
My Organics is fantastic. We have smokers in the home.
Yes?
It takes all that away. And I used to get itchy eyes and watery eyes, and I've just noticed that that's gone now. I don't seem to have it anymore. It's been really fantastic.
Love it. And of course, those itchy, watery eyes come winter time just seem to get tenfold. So you're armed with the best thing, the Organics Tower in your home. I appreciate your call, and I'm sorry
I'm thinking of getting another one.
Very
Now's
good.
your opportunity.
That's it.
Now's your opportunity, and I want to update you, all those people who are thinking about grabbing this show. We only have 28 minutes remaining. Your chance to go in the competition to win a $400 TVSN voucher. We are counting the minutes down, and I believe now Diane is on the phone lines. Hi, Diane.
Hi, how are you?
We are
Very
fantastic. Thank you for taking the time out to give us a call. Very quickly, tell us about how Organics has changed your life.
Well, I have the tower in my bedroom, and it helps me to wake up in the morning with a clear head instead of blocked sinuses.
Well, that's priceless.
It is, because I've had those blocked sinuses since I was a little girl.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And
That's
I have
fantastic.
other organics elsewhere in the house, like in the fridge and in the bathroom. But in the fridge, it saves my strawberries and blueberries for about another 3 days longer.
Oh, well, you are just having, you know, your life is healthier, you're feeling better, you're getting out of bed fresher in the morning. Thank you, Diane, for your call.
I haven't had hay fever
Right.
since we've had this in our home.
Oh, that's great, Barbara.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. I just had to ring and let you know.
No,
Oh,
we
that's
really
great.
appreciate it.
Really appreciate your
Apologising
call.
for cutting you short, Barbara, but thank you again for taking your time out. And I know that there's thousands of people right across Australia that have purchased Organics from Australia TVSN, and more people who are on the phone. I believe. Do we have? No, we've got some more people, in fact, that we actually went and visited during the week, Rick, and I know that this is special to your heart because you get to see those people and the smiles on their face. Have a look at this. Wonderful smiles from Organics people right across Australia.
I've had a tower for about 2 years now, but I like to have my house really smelling nice, and we've got 2 dogs. So I didn't want to use any chemicals, and when I saw it I thought, well, this could be a good solution. Although my dog's very clean, they're inside dog, but you still get the pet smells, and just cooking smells and that as well. It just gets rid of all that, normal house smells, I guess. You get used to it until you have the tower on, and then you realise, wow, it could be a bit fresher. I put mine in the corner, on top of a shelf, so it's sort of covered, no one really notices. I haven't had one person come in and said, what's that? I guess it just looks like an ornament.
Well, the advertisement on the TV was really good, convincing that it was the product to buy. So, I went from there and bought it off the TVSN. Living on a property, we get the smells from the horses and the cattle, and it wafts through the house. And with the tower, we have no more smells in the house. The house smells beautiful. I have it in the lounge. We have a big lounge, dining combined. I have it in the corner on a nice little table, and it just wafts right through the place. Oh yeah, it's like living in fresh air. It's a beautiful product to have in your home. It's not noticeable, and I think people come into my house, because it's such a beautiful house anyway, they think the smell goes with the luxury of the home. They just sort of think, well, the house is beautiful, clean as a new pin, smells lovely. So yeah, don't hesitate. It's the best thing you can buy for purification and lovely fragrance. Well, it's not really a fragrance, it's like a fresh storm. When you've had a rainstorm and it's lovely, you go outside to smell the fresh air. It's really